These are 5 genius ways to make money with AI. I'm Dan Martell, founder of Martell Ventures, a portfolio of AI companies on track to be worth $1 billion in less than 3 years, where we launch and scale a new AI company every single month. And in this video, I'm gonna break down how you can start using these 5 methods to make money with AI today. Because with how far AI has come, you don't need to be an expert to make thousands, if not millions with AI. Number 5, personalized GPT ecosystem. For the nerds out there, this is how you make a lot of money selling to rich people. Every business owner I know is trying to figure out this AI stuff and they're confused. They hear about projects, they hear about custom GPTs, they hear about system prompts, master prompts, custom instructions, all this stuff that you might know that they have no clue about, and they would pay somebody to come in and set it up. Last month, I hosted this AI Accelerator Summit, and I had some of the top CEOs from around the world fly in. These are guys doing like 7, 8, 9, 10 million a year in revenue. And when I showed them how I use AI, blew their minds. Everyone asked me the same question. Who can I pay to set this up for me? So how does a busy exec actually get this set up for them? That's where you come in. So how do we put this into action? It's pretty simple. There's only 4 parts. First, we need to have an intake form. That essentially collects all the information you need about your customer. I'm talking preferences, workflows, the tone, their goals. Gather as much context as possible because that becomes the input to set everything up. The second step is you use that specific information to build some key pieces. A master prompt for the different contexts in their life. System prompts for the specific outputs they're trying to generate. Custom GPTs from the system prompts. Organize their world into project folders. Teach them how to update the context in those projects, etc. Now, if what I just shared with you sounds foreign, don't worry about it because I'm gonna link up in the description a video where I teach how to set this up for yourself and for your clients. I'll also make sure it's the video that's recommended at the end of this one, so you watch this whole thing and then you get into setting this up. So once you do that, I want you to load all those documents that you've created into ChatGPT and ask it to write an SOP, standard operating procedure, or playbook, for how it can use all that AI you've created inside of ChatGPT. So I'm talking like how the client should use projects, custom GPTs, custom instructions, master prompts, system prompts. Step number 4 is you getting access to their ChatGPT and setting this all up so that it is easy, it is clear, it is labeled, and they don't need to wonder where do they find the projects and what custom GPT is this and how would I use this for my work. It's already analyzed all that, created it, you've installed it, and now they can use it. Now, the pro tip is to charge them a monthly subscription-based maintenance fee so that if they need updates, especially in today's world, I don't know if you've seen like literally every 2 months, there's a big update from ChatGPT. You can come in and tweak and fix things as they have questions. And this works for any platform, Gemini, Claude, etc. Here's the truth. Intellectual property of the future is your system prompts. A business is going to pay you top dollar because they want to increase the value of their business, which means the quality of their system prompts. They don't know how to do that. You do, and they'll pay you for that. And by the way, if you're one of those busy CEOs who wants to implement all of this, but doesn't have the time to figure it out from scratch, I've got you. I've spent months building an internal AI company operating system. The same frameworks I use to integrate AI across every department in all my companies. It walks you through everything step by step. Click the link below to get the full detailed document for free. Now, this next way to make money with AI is blowing up, and you can take advantage of it. Number 4, content multiplying. So this is an opportunity for you to reach out to all these businesses, creating long form content and repurpose the exact stuff that they've already put out and publish it on other platforms so that they can generate leads on TikTok, Snapchat, they're probably not using that, and Instagram and all these other platforms. See, they already have it in their long form, and with generative words and video and creative strategies, you can get paid top dollar to repurpose that content for those businesses. So if this sounds like something you want to try, here's what you need to do. First, reach out to the companies that have a portfolio of existing content. That's the pre-qualifier. If you find a business that has no existing long-form content, this strategy doesn't work. You can actually ask AI to do a deep research project to find companies that have a lot of long-form content and no short-form posting, no deep LinkedIn profile. Now that you've got one of those clients as a customer, I want you to take their top performing content, the most views, the most engagement, then transcribe it. Once you have the transcription, you can then ask ChatGPT or any AI to pull out the most impactful sections out of the long form and then format it differently for different platforms. I'm talking like clips, carousels, memorable tweets. That long form content becomes the foundation for you to generate all the short form content that those companies are going to pay you top dollar for. And here's one of my favorite tips. If you have a long piece of content, just ask ChatGPT to package it into a PSL framework, which stands for point, story, lesson. This is how I create all my content. Make a point, tell a story, and then pull out the lessons. And you can make it do that from a long form piece of content. You might pull out 5 or 6 PSLs. That PSL is going to perform incredibly well on social, making you look like a king. So here's the key, is we want to repurpose stuff that's performed really well so that you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time you start. Number 3 is AI Website Studio. The whole point is to build beautiful websites without needing to know how to code. Back in the day, I actually taught myself HTML. That was like the first programming language, that and JavaScript. And it was fun because I was building these websites and everybody thought I had like magic skills. Now you can create literally designed, perfect, pixel perfect, responsive, perfect, everything perfect websites automatically using AI. So if you have a keen eye for design, and honestly, even if you don't, this might be perfect for you. Tools like Lovable or Framer.com makes it possible to spin up sites in literally seconds with no coding experience. I have 18-year-old interns on my team building, launching landing pages, websites, apps, taking information, visualizing it, using Lovable. They don't even understand like golden ratio, the rule of thirds, or visual hierarchies, but it looks awesome every time they do it. For example, one of my companies at Martell Ventures is called Hero Hire that lets you hire people using AI. It literally finds people, interviews them, and just schedules final interviews with you. We built our whole website using Lovable with an intern. It took less than 4 hours, needed no coding at all, and looks beautiful. So if you want to implement this and get paid for it, just follow these steps. First, we have to use ChatGPT to create an intake form that collects everything you're going to need from the client. I'm talking brand details, goals, copy, tonality. Second, we use that information and plug it into ChatGPT to write the prompts to generate the website in Lovable or Framer, and then let AI create the rest of it. Then I need you to just tinker a bit with it to get the details into polish then. And finally, send it back to the client for feedback. But the key is have them fill out the feedback in a form, and then that information sent back to Lovable, updates the website, and then sends them back the link. I know people making $10 million a year building websites for businesses, for anybody, landing pages, and it's all automated. The person pays, they fill out the form, it goes over to Lovable using an API, it runs it, it comes back, it sends a link to the client, they provide feedback, it goes back 3 iterations, and then the client gets the final website. Nobody involved. That's the future of what I'm talking about for this opportunity. And you don't need any kind of experience or know-how. The AI can take care of it for you. And the same pro tip as last time, you can charge them a monthly fee for website maintenance, upkeep, tweaks, creating landing pages, helping them with their email automation. Again, those emails can be written by AI. I'm telling you, right now, this opportunity is massive. So getting paid to build websites, that one's super simple. But there's another level for people that know things, expertise, insights, they actually can get a result. And those people always ask me, if I know how to get a result for somebody, how do I actually make money? This next thing, if you do it right, will make you money. Number 2 is an AI workshop builder. See, this is where you can get paid for what you know how to do. But the way to do that is you have to package your knowledge into a workshop. See, people don't just want to listen to you ramble. They want you to actually deliver training that gets them results. The cool part is that even if you've never created curriculum or a training or a workshop, AI can build the whole thing. It can write the scripts, it can do the outlines, it can break up things into multiple days. It can even produce the content. What stops most people is their fear of not being an expert. I remember the other day I was hiking on my founder's hike. This woman was sharing with me that she had quit her job a year ago. She had started her business, and she has a lot of people that want to ask her how she did it, but she doesn't feel qualified. And I said, here's the deal. You quit your job, started your business. So that means you're a few steps ahead of other people. You don't have to be an expert in starting a business. You need to be an expert in quitting their job, which you've done and you've already shown success. That's why people want to learn from you. So don't worry about not being a certified expert. Just know that if you've gotten a result in your life and you just teach people, here's a result I got in my life, I'll teach you how I did it, it's worked for these people I've helped, then you are an expert to help people get that result. And doing this and setting it up is way easier than you think. It really comes down to 3 steps. The first step is you want to ask ChatGPT to interview you like it was a beginner in your area. So for example, when I started my Kings Club program and I wanted to create a curriculum for these young men that I mentor, I just had it interview me to try to ask me the questions that it would have if it was a young man wanting to get advice from me. The second step is you use those questions and answers to ask it to build a step-by-step workshop. After that, I then had the AI write every lesson, every outline, every model so that I didn't have to think. And when the Kings Club event came up, I just went back to what I'd already outlined because it created all the material for me. My favorite thing is to ask it to come up with like exercises that are relevant to a teenager. Because I'm teaching these kids that are 13 to 18 and I don't know what's relevant to them. So it comes up with like all these examples of YouTubers and streamers I've never heard of, but the stories reinforce the point that I'm teaching about being successful. And finally, number 4 is you just have to record yourself. You just follow the slides it created for you. That's all I do. I go on, teach for 20, 30 minutes, record it, that becomes saved. That's my Kings Club content. Now, I don't charge for that program, but you can charge top dollar, especially if you're selling to other business owners that want to get a result that you're world class at. Now, my favorite pro tip though, is asking it to use the 4MAT, M-A-T structure that's based on adult learning theory to break up your information in a way that is so easy to learn from. See, most people just try to overwhelm people with knowledge and information, but the 4MAT structure really keeps it simple and easy for anybody to learn from. The truth is you don't have to be the expert, but you do need to be the guide. AI makes you the best guide and gets you paid the most money. Okay, those workshops, they're friggin' amazing and you can make a ton of money. But if you already have a business and you want to make more money with AI, this last one is gonna blow your mind. Number 1, hidden network finder. Your net worth is your network. You already know the people that you need to know to make more money. But unfortunately for most people, it's hidden. It's like standing on top of a gold mine and not realizing there's gold under the ground because you don't have the tool to go mine for it. See, within your follower base, people that follow you on LinkedIn that you don't even know, or TikTok, or Instagram, or Twitter, there might be billionaires. There might be media opportunities. There might be customers just sitting there, but you don't even know they're watching. The cool part is AI can scan your followers, augment that information, analyze and do research on all those contexts for you to figure out where the biggest opportunities are for you to connect the dots. Think about your email. If you go back over 10 years, how many emails have you had with people? Over 1,000, over 2,000, maybe 10,000, maybe 20,000 conversations. What if you knew everything about those people, those emails, their current job positions, what they're doing, and it could find opportunities as you travel to meet up with them, find opportunities to do partnerships with, find potential customers. It's all there. That's why I built this tool called Social Suite. I've personally used it to analyze my network to find opportunities to do media interviews, podcast tours, partnerships, founder dinners, literally augment my life through relationships in a way that was never possible before. So how does this work? First, you create a Social Sweep AI account and you connect your social accounts. So I connected my Instagram, my X account, my emails, my LinkedIn, all of it. So now what it does is it enriches your contacts using public data and appends to it, and then also does an AI analysis to figure out who they are, where they live. I mean, it'll even look at photos on Instagram and update their location if it can't find that publicly. It's wild. So then you want to ask it questions. So for example, one of them is, who do I know that has a podcast that shoots in Austin in person? So then it creates a list of contacts. The cool part is that once you've got that list, you can ask it to write the snippet dynamically based on who you are, who that person is, and what you should say when you reach out to them over Instagram or email, depending on which platform it tells you is the best for that person. This is how you find new clients, strategic partnerships, suppliers, or just even find somebody at a company could solve a problem for you. Have you ever had your Facebook account locked down and you're like, does anybody know anybody that works at Facebook? I guarantee you already know somebody, you just don't know you do. And if you want to give it a shot, just click the second link in the description below and give it a try for yourself. Now, I just showed you 5 incredible ways to make a ton of money with AI, but a lot of people will feel overwhelmed, and I get that. But here's what I want to recommend for you. When you ask yourself, should I go all in? Understand that the word calling has all in the middle of it. I believe you have a calling. I believe you're here watching this because you want to do something big with your life. And I believe that you wouldn't even have the aspiration if it wasn't possible. But to have your calling show up in your life, you have to go all in. The key is picking one. Out of the 5 I gave you, pick one thing that you could double down on. Use AI to make a lot of money and become masterful at it. The game is mastery. When we dedicate our life to an outcome, that focus, follow one course until successful, will make it come to life. Again, just a reminder, if you haven't grabbed the AI Company OS below, just make sure you do. It's the easiest way to start using AI in every department without spending months trying to figure it out yourself. The link is in the description. It's the first one. Just click it. Now, if you want to learn how to get ahead of 99% of the people using ChatGPT, click here and I'll see you on the other side.